Hi friends, it's the final part of the Frosty friggin' Folks, which is basically our small, abbreviated DLC beta run. That is because the actual DLC will be coming out on the 18th. I know I said a couple times in the last video it was the 19th. I don't know where I got that date in my head, but I could have sworn it was the 19th, but it's apparently the 18th. I will be getting it on the 18th and putting a video out that is scheduled to come out on the 19th, so that'll be the plan. We'll be starting a new run in the actual DLC, so I wanted to finish up this colony before we got there. So, that is the plan. By the way, one quick point of business. I haven't shown any comment like I would normally by now, because I wanted to highlight this. Somebody sent in a picture of their daughter's outdoor, fort. It has a whole bunch of the stickers on there that we had sent out. And I did not see the email that got sent in that was going to be featured in the last series final video. So I just wanted to have this in there to make up for it. So thanks a lot for sending that in. Alright, let's get down to business for this video. We are going to need to check off the rest of the things that are here, which is just building the Great Monument, opening the Temporal Tear, and breaching the Temporal Tear. Obviously, we can't do this one yet because it doesn't exist yet, but we will find out on the 18th, whatever this is. Or I guess the 19th is when the video is going to come out. See, I'm technically correct for some reason. So, we just need to get through those things. For the monument, I'm just going to build it right here, and I guess I'll speed this up to see if I can get this done while we're still in this, intro section talking. My duplicants are probably off, staring at the wall or peeing their pants or something. Really important business instead of doing this, so I'm going to force them over here and get them to work. So we need to do that. We also need to get the Temporal Tear open, which we need to visit the ice planet to do, because the Temporal Tear opener is sitting in this occluded area right now that we haven't gone into yet. But we need a rocket that we're going to live there for quite a while, because the Temporal Tear opener takes a lot of Radbolts in order to open. Fortunately for us, this planet spawns with a few Wheezeworts naturally, so we are just going to harvest the radiation from those in order to open it up. But we're going to need Duplicants to be here for a little while in order to do that, so we do need a rocket that our Duplicants can live out of for a while, and this is about the design I'm going to go for. The idea here is once they're living there, this will be like a recreation room down here that we'll change it into when we get the right buildings. This will be our Great Hall, which we still need to put our painting up, so I'm glad I'm doing this exercise to make sure I don't miss that. There we go. Yeah. So that'll take care of those two rooms, and obviously our bathroom. So our Duplicants are just going to live out of this rocket for quite a long time while we're there. They're going to need to be generating their own power. I need to take all the supplies for oxygen and stuff like that, so there's a whole bunch of oxalite here that we can take along with us. I guess we'll see how long that lasts, but we can also fly back to get more supplies if we really need to and just leave some Duplicants there. We need to take a lot of food, a whole bunch of other supplies that we need, things like glass to make sure we can just build some solar panels to help us out with the power. You know, all the stuff we've been tracking down here, copper, obviously the sugar because we're going to need to reload. Or I guess refuel. I really should have called these other colonies our gas station colonies, because they're basically places that we park and refuel and leave. So yeah, that's about where we sit as of the last video. All these gas stations look about the same. They've only got one pump and they only have sugar. Pretty weird gas stations if you ask me. So we have got, let me continue to dig this out, or I guess deconstruct this so we can start getting our monument up. I'm mostly interested to see if they have any new designs for the monument, or if they're going to be holding that for the DLC, or if it just won't have any, or I don't know. So this will be interesting to find out. What's this on the ground? Oh, it's a serum vial for zombie spores. Okay. So let's start our monument now that we have this opened up, and I will try to keep this spinning as we talk about some other things. So another thing that I need to get done, let me make sure I actually have everything that I need. I'm pretty sure I do. I did check this a little while ago, but I did spend a whole bunch of steel on that other asteroid, so if we need more, we can always make it. I'll wait until it becomes a problem. So we've got that. We also did talk a little bit about these new lights that are these Mercury Lights. I'm going to be building out a setup for that, but I'm really interested in how much it's going to power. So the idea is, let me build one of these while we're talking. And we'll drop a Mercury light here, and I'm just going to put down a solar panel to see if one of these can power one solar panel. We will probably wind up changing this setup. I don't know if it's going to be this straightforward. I don't know the actual wattage that is needed to power one solar panel fully, and especially because we're only going to be getting that amount of light on a few tiles. So I'm hoping that we can get enough on those few tiles to power an entire panel, and then I'll be checking to see if we can actually... Why am I going this way? I could just go hook it up right here. This is what I get for talking and doing this at the same time. Then we're going to see if that does fully power it, if one of these can actually power 2 or 3 panels. We'll see how far this can go. And we'll also let this run for a little while. I don't actually have a need for a lot of power right now. We're totally fine and stabilized where we are. In fact, the actual ethanol that we have built up from all the extra wood is pretty ridiculous. Like, we have a lot. So I'm not worried about power or anything like that. This is just to test this building out because it came out basically after we had solved all these problems already, at least in the DLC updates. So we'll build out something like that to check it out and see what we can get. This monument takes forever to get supplies for, but they will get it eventually. Okay, the only other thing that I'm going to do in this video, in addition to like temporal tear opener stuff and living on the ice asteroid for a while, is we're going to open our blueprints because it's been a while since we've done this. And I'm curious if there's new stuff that's going to be in the DLC that they've shown yet. So I'm just going to click this for a little while and see what we get. Some fully atomic socks, apparently. Unless I totally misread that, which I probably did. Some basic gloves. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that's new or not as a part of this. I really don't actually keep up on these cosmetics that much in terms of, like, what is coming out or what the options are, but when it comes time to use it, especially for the drywall, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like this. Hey, this is kind of cool. Initials ER are sewn into the lampshade. I don't get it. Huh. If anybody knows that joke, let me know. Yeah, purple balloons. Come on, give me something new. Alright, wet wall pot. This is probably going to be a while. This is always what happens with this, is there's always at least 1 or 2 people in the comments that are like, ooh, pink. At least, like... Sorry, there's at least 1 or 2 people in the comments that are constantly like, open your blueprints, I can't stand to see the notification for it. I thought I already had that, by the way. Pretty sure I'm getting duplicates. Whoa. Okay, that was a weird one. Man, this is going to take a long time. Anyway, so that by the time I finally do this, there's so many blueprints to open up that I'm hoping that at least 1 or 2 people is very satisfied by how long this takes to open up and look at all these things that are coming out of here, because I will just never do it. Is this a hand? What? This is so weird. Okay, finally we're done. Cool. So... the other... No, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's do this. I'm not sure if I actually have the obsidian to push this right now, and if I don't, I'm probably going to start deconstructing some of these tiles out here, because I don't really need them anymore. And we don't need that much more sucrose, so I'm not too worried about deconstructing this. So yeah, let me get some obsidian that I might need for the monument. And let me make sure we have all of our monument supplies, and then we will complete that directive. Then we will move on to seeing how many panels this Mercury ceiling light can get done, or can power. And then we'll probably take off and get over to the other asteroid. We just have a lot of supplies that we need to bring in here first, and it's going to take my duplicants a little while to do this, because this was not really ever built to be very efficient in terms of loading this up like we've done in the past. So yeah, let's get those few things done, and then we will move forward. Okay, this monstrosity is about to turn into a head that will finish our monument, and it will kick off a little cinematic. So like I usually do, if you don't want to see this, then look away and come back in a little more than a minute. What are they focusing on? It's like just a random room. Alright, few civilizations throughout time have had the privilege of understanding their origins. The one thing that matters is that we are here now and we make the best of the world we've been given. I am proud to say this asteroid is our home. There we go. Alright, now let's see what permutations we can make from this monument and see if they added anything new, at least in the beta. So, anything different here? It doesn't look like it. I think these are all the same ones, but very likely that there are more in the DLC, the actual one. So, we've had a lot of radiation problems. I think we're going to do an irradiated herald. I think the thumbs up is pretty good. Let me see if there's anything better. Hold on. Maybe this? It's looking pretty, Oh, how about this? He's like, yeah, I know. I need to clear out some of these other tiles. Let me do this. Now someone's going to come at me and be like, Harold doesn't wear a red shirt. And I would not know that. Okay, let's see the feet. The feet. Oh, definitely the sugar rocket, obviously. There we go. He's like, yeah, this is what I did to conquer the universe, and this is what I look like afterward. There we go. All right, done. So let's take a look at this Mercury light. So what's going to happen is I'm going to hook this up to some mercury that we have flowing through some handy-dandy pipes here. And it's going to go into the light, and it will start to turn it on. I've only turned this on for just a second to see what it looked like. So here you go. If this is your first time, this is what it looks like. It does take a little bit to power up. And I don't know how much... Yeah, see, it's only at like a certain percentage. And we'll see how much it actually takes to push one of these solar panels. Is it really not that good? Wow. I thought this would be a lot more powerful because the light level is like 60,000. And it really doesn't take that much energy to power the light. So the light itself uses up, what, like 60 watts? And this is already producing like 3 times that. And yeah, we're just about powered up. So it looks like it powers it about halfway if I'm looking at this right. So I guess 2 of these per panel ought to do it. Let me experiment with this a little bit and see how efficient we can get. I'm going to start building this out a little bit more over here. And again, we don't need this power. I'm just messing around with it just to see what it's like. And especially so that we'll have a plan going into the actual DLC. So we now know that one of them basically powers it halfway. And just at the expense of the mercury that's going in, which again, really doesn't have much of a purpose otherwise. One thing I'm wondering, though, is if there will be a vent or a geyser or whatever you want to call it that's going to put out mercury in the DLC. Because that would be pretty cool. Then you could run setups like this to just get some power from solar. This does generate a little bit of heat, but it's not too bad. Yeah, let me play around with this a little bit and see if I can optimize. I'm wondering if I could do like 5 tiles and if that would fully do it or something like that. And not necessarily just exactly 2 per solar panel. So I'll play around with this on the side. Alright, let's see. We've got that done. There's a good old irradiated herald. Now we just need to worry about the temporal tear. So let's take a look at the progress on our rocket. We're still waiting for some resources. I do need more oxalite, and I'll take as much as I can possibly get. Just because I don't want to have to come back and get more if we don't need to. What else do we need? Copper, glass. We have a good amount of that. Granite, food, plastic. Did we get all the sucrose? Or is there not... Let me ask for more. I think I'm still cleaning out the other rocket too. Yeah, my duplicants are still moving stuff from the other rocket, so... Let me clear out the other rockets, and that one's not really going to be in use anymore. I guess I can deconstruct it, but I don't really want it to all fall down and get heated up by sitting down here by these tiles. These tiles are very hot. So yeah, it'll take them a little bit to get that. And we've seen the rocket blast off enough and all that fun stuff. So I think I'm just going to do a advance forward for when we're ready to actually land on here and start building our setup to open the temporal tear. So we'll be there in just a minute. Okay, we're here. Let's go ahead and land. The idea with this is we are going to need to generate a lot of Radbolts for whatever is inside this room. By the way, the duplicants that are here are probably not going to be using suits that much. I'm going to try to get away with not... Oh, crap. Run away! Don't die! Come on, come on, come on, come on. Live. Live. Okay, I don't think it's hot up here anymore. It should be okay. If not, we'll just build a bed for him and put him there. Okay, anyway. So we need to get a duplicant in here to submitted bioscan, and they will open this up and expose the temporal tear opener. So if you've never seen this before, this is what it looks like. Thank you. Oh, it's all buried and stuff. Let me dig it out, and then we will go from there. But the idea is we need to generate Radbolts to open this up. I'm not particularly attached to the sleet wheat that's here, so I need to place some Radbolt generators in the best spot possible. And I think it's right next to the actual Wheezewort. I'm not sure, actually, which spot this generates from. So if we build a Radbolt generator, I think it's this panel. I'm going to test it and see which one's faster, because this is going to take quite a while, considering generating from just one Wheezewort at a time is actually pretty slow. But we should be fine to build a whole bunch of them, and I will also build a lot of power infrastructure, solar power, and I will also build manual power for my duplicants. I might also run some oxalite in here, so I might split that into two and just ask for about half of this to be swept. So if I ask for like this 23 tons to be swept, we can have the oxalite inside here to be generating oxygen, and then I can build a whole bunch of manual generators to generate that power. We're just going to need to build our infrastructure for all the power stuff before we build the actual generators themselves. I don't know why I'm paused. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get all this stuff dug out. And I'll build the solar panels, and then we will build the rest of the setup and get the generation going. It shouldn't be too bad. We'll probably create a back way to send the Radbolts up as well. So we'll get on that. Okay. Our power setup is pretty much good. We have all of our solar panels consuming as much of the light as possible. International symbol for we have arrived on a new planet, just barfing all over the floor. That's definitely what you should do if you're a space traveler, by the way. On the inside, we just have a bunch of manual generators that I'm going to not let my duplicants use yet because I don't want them to. And we just need a big battery bank. So I just created a second rocket platform. Just gonna build a whole bunch of batteries here and then just connect it up to power. There we go. Just because the solar panels are not gonna be super reliable when it's dark, obviously. So we've got that. Let's start putting in a couple of the actual generators. I'm gonna put one here and see if this one's gonna generate more than, say, like this one. I'm pretty sure that it generates from this location, but just to be double checking, let's do that. I also need to make sure that my duplicants aren't walking around down here, because this area is going to be Radbolts flying every once in a while, and I don't want my duplicants to get hit by it. And I think I'm going to do... I'm going to try to do as many as I can, but also make sure to not overdo it, I guess. And by that I mean, like, my duplicants can only create so much power. I don't want to get to a point where we're producing, like... or trying to produce or consume more power than we actually produce. So let's start with these three and see how we do. If we need to get more, I will need to warm some of these up because they are too cold right now. Only because the bottom of this asteroid is extremely cold. So if I need to, I will probably wall this off and start heating up this area the best I can to get some of these working. And this is better, at least for how I'm doing it right now, than bringing a whole bunch of phosphorite, because I don't actually have a lot of phosphorite back at the home planet. Oh, jeez. These two got stuck. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. This tree is, like, growing in this tile. I have no idea how this happened, but this might be an interesting exploit if you wanted to research it. I guess I don't know who really does a lot of the... researching of exploits in Oxygen Not Included, but this one looks pretty overpowered. Like if you could get this to just naturally plant inside of a tile. So now I don't need to worry about anything regarding what it's sitting in, and I can just have the ethanol fall straight through. I can put a solar panel underneath there that won't be disrupted by it, so yeah, anyway. We don't have a lot of phosphorite here. There's obviously some sitting around, but I didn't want to bring that and have my... like, create a whole setup to generate radiation if I can do it just as effectively here by having duplicants generate some manual power. Jeez. Lots of radiation vomiting going on. It's just a mess once we get here. So, we're going to try to go like this back way and send the Radbolts up this area and then eventually reflect them into the Temporal Tear Opener. We also do need to remove the ceiling on this, so I probably should rebuild this to be more airtight. Let me create a couple of regular doors here instead of these doors. The doors that are here are meant to not allow my duplicants to pass once I set them that way, so that this area will all be, like, not routable by my duplicants. I'll create a door here, too, that will prevent them from coming down here. So they'll basically be banned from walking anywhere down there. Jeez, what a disaster. Everybody's got these awful spots. Hey, Bert! Oh no, that was Harold. Never mind. I was gonna say, he's looking just like the monument. So, I'm just going to fill out the rest of this. We'll connect it up to power, and we'll just set up some ways for our Radbolts to fly. And we will have them flying over and up to the Temporal Tear Opener, but we do need to make sure that the line of sight is open, so I always forget this part. Let me see. We're gonna have to delete a couple of solar panels in order to do this. I'll probably just replace them so there's a hole right here. So yeah, I've got a couple more things to do, and then we will fire this up and see which of these positions works out. And my duplicants, in the meantime, when we're ready to start generating power, will just be running on hamster wheels and eating and sleeping. That'll be basically all they do, so we'll get there soon. Well, this is just poetic, isn't it? This is exactly how this is gonna go. All kinds of chaos going on here, and the only reason, and this is why I really do not like Oxalite to be taken in rockets, is if any of it ever gets in a point where it gases off constantly, you just get this huge overpressurization, which then causes your duplicants to get popped eardrums and 20 stress per cycle, which then just causes endless stress reactions, vomiting, crying, there's people eating all my food. It's just a total mess. So yeah, I will just continue to be an advocate of taking algae in some way to create oxygen, because if you ever lose containment on this, even for just a couple seconds, I only lost containment on it because we were running Oxalite down into this area, and my duplicants dropped a couple of them, and now everything is just a mess. So, yay. Jeez. But we're just making do with what we have. This is pretty much ready. We've got 2 of them up and running. There's a third one that's about to come up here. I'm also thinking that the rate at which this is being created, which is 38 per cycle, is just a little bit too slow. It takes a lot to charge this up. So, I'm going to do something I didn't want to do, only because I want to finish this run before the DLC actually comes out for real, which means that I need to get this done, like, as soon as possible. The way we can accelerate this is we just so happen to be on an asteroid that has a bunch of uranium on it. So we can just set up something to generate some Radbolts for us, much faster than just one of these things will. So let's get this set up. This is just going to be a pretty straightforward thing. Just going to get a radiation lamp, probably put it like here, I guess. And we could put 3 Radbolt generators right up next to it so that we get as much radiation as possible coming out of this radiation lamp. I'll dig out a bunch of the uranium and just stick it down here, and then have an auto sweeper that will reload it constantly. So I'll need to set up the power and all this stuff for it, but yeah, we definitely need to accelerate this, especially if my duplicants are going to be flipping out for the next little while. The other thing that I could do, since the 2 rooms that are in here that they're really using a lot, is the... I'm gonna have to send somebody back to get food at this rate. They're really breathing this too slowly. But the... Jeez, this is so annoying. You need to bump up this priority so that this gets done faster. I don't remember what I was saying. So, yeah. Anyway, considering I lost my train of thought, we'll just get this set up going and get our uranium stuff built. The other thing that I did want to talk about, by the way, is the setup with the Mercury lamps. This is about what it looks like. And the thing that I learned is basically, like, running this with 1 ceiling light puts it at roughly halfway. That's almost exactly halfway because the peak is 380. So I do think an even 2 Mercury... Oh, jeez. What in the world is going on? This is so annoying. So 2 Mercury Lights ought to power this fully. This setup right here actually only has 5 of the 6 available tiles powering this one solar panel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I had a few set up here just to see what it would look like. So this one has 4, this one has 5, this one has 3. And by that I mean like 3 columns of light going into it. So 2 Mercury ceiling lights will power 1 solar panel. I'm guessing we will be doing a lot of this in the... Jeez. I'm guessing we're going to be doing a lot of this in the actual DLC, but let me just continue to plow through this the best I can so we can get this finished up. And once we get this charged, or if anything else happens, I will let you know and we will come back and talk about it and be annoyed at some barfing. Okay, progress update. We are about a quarter of the way done. My duplicants have stopped having stress reactions, but the damage has definitely been done. We are running very low on food. We've probably got a little over 5 days worth of food left, if my calculations are right. We're eating about 12,000 calories a day. So yeah, like maybe 6 days-ish before we run out. I don't think we're going to get this entirely charged in 6 days. But we're going to do a couple things. One is we're going to crank up our radiation production. So I'm going to put 2 more radiation Radbolt generators right here. And those are going to be the 4 strongest places to put it, as far as I can tell in this little grid. So that ought to get us there pretty quickly. The other part that is worth noting is I did confirm that this area is definitely the area that generates absorbs the radiation, basically. So if I hook up those 2 at the same time, you can see that this one's collecting at 24 a cycle, this one's collecting at 38, even though they're both, like, the bottom of this is sitting at this bottom location, and the top of this is here. So very clear that it does collect less per cycle if it's not with the green part stuck in the most ideal spot. So I'm going to build this bottom setup of Radbolt generators to be at the strongest places that I can get. I am starting to run out of power, which is a problem. I think it's because I have too much stuff hooked up right now to one line. I just need to turn these off. That's why. There we go. So these ones are going to be turned off, and the bottom one is just going to get 4 of them running as high as possible. And we're gonna see how quickly we can get this done. But just in case I run out of food before then, my plan is I'm going to load this rocket with all of our duplicants that are still on this planet, and they're going to join the duplicants that are on the ice planet, and we're gonna see how fast we can get this out, while also bringing all of the rest of our food and all the rest of our oxalite and any other things that we can find that might be useful on the trip. So we're going to totally overdo it because we're going to take this rocket that is sitting right here. We're going to load this up with all the duplicants and fly it into the temporal tear, giving us 0 duplicants at the end of this. So we're going to have all of them in here as we bounce between planets. We will also need to make a stop here because our platform is getting buried by debris. So we're going to need to have a duplicant be dropped down here and dig this out beforehand. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting adventure. I think we'll probably do the digging out process while everybody is in the super crowded rocket. So, 18 duplicants into the temporal tear, leaving us with 0 in the colony because they're going to go into the future, which is going to be the real DLC. So, just going to get that part all done. I'll get the rocket loaded up, and we will send it there and crash land all of our duplicants on this new place, and we'll all be together for one last trip. Alright, here we go. We're abandoning this colony, and even the people that can't get out of here because there's no suits, they are just going to go without. So let's disable this, and everybody else is going to go get in the rocket. We have taken basically all of our food. There's still a little bit left, but I'm just worried about running out on this colony, so we just need to go. because it takes us a few days to get there. So hopefully we'll get there in time, but this is going to be interesting. Let's get all these people out of their suits. Let's do this the right way so that they all have to actually breathe this. We'll uncheck these bins and get our oxalite moved to another location. Why can't I do anything with this? Why can't I sweep this? Oh, because it's still in the bin. Okay, I'm just gonna deconstruct all this. So once we get everybody in the rocket, we'll take off. So we need to set our destination, which is gonna be the ice planet, because that's where they're gonna be meeting everybody. We're going to acknowledge our warnings and I guess just begin launch. As soon as everybody gets there, we will head out and we will have no more duplicants left on this world. It will have served us thus far, but we are just going to let it go dormant and abandon it. Which is definitely the right thing to do after you've spent the entire game working towards keeping it up. There we go. Everybody's crammed in the rocket. Yep. Alright, nice. So, we should be getting... Oh, here we go with that overpressurization, by the way. This is exactly why I do not like oxalite. So we're going to have the most insane problems in this rocket as we are flying in terms of stress because of everyone's popped eardrums. Where's the rest of our oxalite? It says we have 6 tons, but I only saw part of it. Did we move it all already? I don't know. But yeah, super overpressurized. We have all of our food. Get out of your suit. You're not allowed to use that. Everybody has popped eardrums, and it's just going to be a big mosh pit until we get there. So we will be there in 4.6 cycles, and we have decidedly less than that of food. So hopefully the duplicants here won't starve. If I get desperate, I think I will just start cooking the sleet wheat into something. So we'd still do at least have a reserve. I'm not going to let the duplicants here starve. Also, we do have this, which we could just get into this vending machine, so we might as well just do that now. Let's start letting people in. And they can just rummage the vending machine. I think there's a couple down at the bottom, too, so could at least do that. There. Alright, so they will be here soon, and as soon as they are here, we'll have a mass crash landing, and everybody will be united. We will crank this out as soon as we can. Getting frostbite from being down here, by the way, because it's so cold. Is this it? Only 800 calories? Wow. Those vending machines are really not very stocked. I thought it was way more than that. Maybe I'm just thinking at the beginning of the game or something. Duplicates can't get over there right now. Watch somebody get hit by a Radbolt, which would be really bad. I don't think so, because it's pretty far away. Okay, so they'll be here soon, and I'll show the crash landing, and we'll have everybody united. We'll get probably more generators up. We might build some rooms once everybody is here. But yeah, we'll go from there. We won't be here for too long anyway. We're up to 37% now. By the time they get here, I'm expecting to be around, like, a little above 50. So, we'll see. And they'll be here soon. Alright, this is how we do it. These duplicants are so happy to be here. We've got 3 people crying, 1 person binge eating, 1 person's getting really mad, 1 person was just vomiting a second ago. This flight is going great. This is basically a coach on every airline ever. Well, maybe not quite this bad, but you know what I mean. We're getting pretty close to landing. Our food is almost gone on this planet, so I'm guessing that this is going to come in at the last second before duplicants start to starve. Who's even starving right now? Oh, it's somebody that is crying, so that's wonderful. I think he'll be fine. There he goes, eating his pemmican, as we have decided. Cool. Well, we're almost there. Once we get a couple tiles away, I think maybe even here we could start crash landing, because I think the crash landing will be faster than actually flying there. So, I don't know. That'd be an interesting experiment. Once it changes to this tile, I think I'll do that. So let's do this. How much longer does it have before it gets there? Okay, 0.7 tiles. So once... Or 0.7 cycles, not tiles. So once we get there... Hey, there you go. He's breaking all the machinery. Man, this is so appropriate. Alright, so they're going to be getting here pretty close, and as soon as they get to this tile, I will have them crash land, and I guess we'll see how long it takes the debris to land as opposed to anything else. It could be a while, so if we start getting desperate, we'll need to start cooking like our lives depend on it, because they literally will. So, they'll be here soon in one form or another. All right, let's turn this rocket into debris. Abandoned ship, yes! Boom. Bunch of our duplicants were in there, but here we go. Oh yeah, okay. It's only like a minute before they land. So we are running. We're literally out of food right now. So as soon as they land, we need to prioritize getting this payload opener up so that we can start unpacking stuff as soon as possible. So let's get all this stuff built. And we'll see if we can unpack the food in time, but I don't think we're close to anybody starving quite yet. We probably have at least half a cycle before this happens. Here's everyone. Hello, welcome. Did everybody land? Yeah, I guess they just all landed on top of each other. Right? Yep, our queen, Max, Nails, Turner, May, Ruby, Frankie, Mima, Harold, Josh. Okay, yeah, we're good. Cool, now that everybody's here, get to work, because we need to unpack the food. Yeah, we have like an army now. This is awesome. I'm also going to say if they find any oxygen, especially the oxygen that just came out, to have it, or rather that might be stored in the other rocket, to just unpack it here. The rest of the... Yeah, we're getting 3 people starving right now. This is right on time. So we need to get our payload openers up and running and start getting the food out of it. Actually, we should probably find where the food is and undo it manually. Which one's the closest and best one? This one doesn't really have that great of stuff. Right? Yeah, only raw egg and meat. Where's the rest of our food? Here we go. Here's a bunch of it. Well, that's not that much. Did we really lose all of our food? This is gonna be hilarious. Okay. I'm gonna look at this again, because I feel like I'm going too fast. Is there any food in here? I don't see any. So that's a terrible start. Alright, what about here? We have just a little bit of these pike apple skewers. If we lost all of our other food, that is going to be great. Polluted oxygen. No, 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 no. Sucrose and oxalate. Okay, here we go. Here's all of our food. Oh, jeez. Okay, I just missed it. All right, let me empty this storage. I'm going to just do it manually. And I don't think my duplicants can actually reach this, so I think I'm just going to need to deconstruct this panel. Thank you, Harold. Now someone needs to get over here and unpack the debris. Oh, it's Harold again. Harold the homie. All right, how close are we to starving here? This could not be any tighter. I guess it could, but this is pretty close. Okay, we should be fine. They have a ways. And it's also going to fall right on top of the door, which is just going to drop right here. This is just perfect. You could not have planned this any better. Where is everything? Did you just take it? Yeah, you did. No. Stop asking for this. Disable. Knock it off. Okay, someone unpack this. Thank you. Jeez. Alright, now all the stuff should be here, right? Unless it just got deleted. What happened to all my stuff? Oh, did he just unpack it all? No. Wait. Wait. Okay, we're not doing this again, right? Has someone picked it up? Did someone pick it up? What's going on? I don't understand what just happened. This is so bad. I think it just deleted everything that was in that payload. Even though I was trying to open it so I could get the stuff out of it. Right? Or did they take it here? Okay, well, we're either going to have a mass starvation of duplicants because the game just decided to totally screw me over. Or, well, I guess let's do this in the meantime. Since we don't know what's going on yet, let's start at least trying to not die. That should probably be enough. We're just going to go all frost buns until we can get this resolved. Man, what a mess. I don't know what happened. And it's not in here, so I think it just deleted everything that was in there, which is literally all of our food. Which is just amazing. I love that. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And I know we've unpacked rocket debris manually before because I did it... No, is it in here? Here's the pike apple skewers. What is going on? Alright, I'm just going to manually empty this storage. Let's start cranking out frost buns. There we go. What is happening with this? This is so weird. Alright, start unloading this. Let's just start getting food out. Okay, now there's some, so people should be able to at least grab it. Here's some more pike apple skewers. Where's our pemmican? No, I swear it just got deleted because we had the raw egg and the meat in there, and it's just gone. That whole thing is just gone. Wow. So this was really bad. And by the way, Clay, I have a bug to report. All of my stuff just got deleted. I think someone just died. Alright, who died? What's going on? This is a terrible end to this colony. I plead ignorance. I plead that I did everything I was supposed to do, and the game just decided to not let me have it. So I guess we're just gonna have dead duplicants. Can we build can we build memorials inside the rocket? This is really going off the rails, but it was not my fault. Oh, it's because you had a stress reaction. Okay, Ruby, thanks for dying and making this horrible. Let's add a tasteful memorial. Okay, we can put it in the rocket, so at least Ruby's body will still make it to the temporal tear. Okay, we're starting to get some food, but we have to feed 18 duplicants, and it's on hard, so it's going to take a while. How many more? Okay, we have a lot of sleep wheat, so this is... We might at least be able to recover. Put your Fs in chat for Ruby here, because that was bad. I never knew you could put a grave. I never knew you could put a grave inside a rocket, so I guess I learned something new, but that was 100% not my fault. So we're just going to go into crisis management mode until this is charged, and then we're going to send everybody through the temporal tear. We would have been at 0 duplicants anyway, so I guess we lost, but it's not my fault, I swear. Okay, now I'm even more confused, because... Oh, did it get stuck in the wall? Is that what happened? Let me dig this out, because these three are stress eating right now, but they're just, like, materializing this pemmican from the wall, which I never knew that was possible, to unpack things and have them get unpacked into a wall. What is going on? This is so buggy. Anyway... So, Ruby, just gonna be living it up in her grave over there, but at least she doesn't have to deal with this. What in the world? Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this. I'm trying to panic out yeah, here it is. Here's all the stuff. It was stuck in the wall. That is just wonderful. Okay, whatever. Rip to Ruby. We're almost done with this. Jeez. Boo! Well, this is still a total disaster. People crying, radiation vomiting. Devin's getting the medical care that he has needed for a while. Frankie's just super angry at this tile in particular. I don't know why. People throwing up, binge eating all over the place. This is just a mess. But trying to stabilize the best I can despite all the chaos. This is such a disaster. Just trying to get all their morales up to a reasonable level. And we're almost charged up. We're at 85%. So I'm going to start moving a bunch of stuff into the rocket so that we can get ready to leave. That also being a bunch of our food, a bunch of our stuff to produce oxygen. And we'll just see what we can get. I might also take all of the sleet wheat grain just so we can make food along the way if we need to. But we'll see. So we'll see how far we get, but I do think we need to start moving stuff in there for sure. So I will start rebuilding a bunch of this. We're not going to really have a need for a Great Hall while we're out. So just going to put a bunch of refrigerators. Obviously leave Ruby's grave here. Rip to Ruby. And yeah, we'll get all of our stuff loaded. We're about ready to leave. So we will take the top off this thing and fire it. I don't know if you can actually fire through glass. I've never tried it before, but I'd really like to not find out the wrong way, considering how things have gone so far. So we will take the roof off of this as we leave, but we're going to pack up a bunch of stuff in the rocket and leave in just a bit. We're almost there. All right. Our army of human batteries has almost got this thing charged up entirely. So we're at 98%. And should be about there. Yes. Okay, cool. So now we're ready to fire. I think we just need to take the top off of here because typically, well, yeah, I don't want to fire it until we're actually gone. So I'm just going to do this. Let's deconstruct these buildings. I'll just do the top layer first. I'm going to grab all my oxalite and put it into the rocket. And then we are going to assign everyone to this rocket, and then we're going to get out of here. So, oxalite. It's the only thing that's left. I did grab everything else. There's a whole bunch of Atmos suits in this bin. We have our sucrose so we can refuel. We do need to build another module on the bottom of this, which is a Trailblazer module, so that we can have somebody land on the other planet to clear out the landing space, because the landing space is entombed. So there you go. By the way, here's our original abandoned colony. It still looks about the same as normal, so this is probably just going to get more and more buried with snow and crushed ice. But I think these animals are having a great time without us. See, they're still all around here. Snazzy Harold is still giving us the sassy look on top of the rocket. I don't know, still seems pretty fine to me. So all is well. Alright, let's make sure we got the rest of our oxalite out of here. I think so. That shows... Okay, there's still a little bit left that my duplicants are moving. I've also skill scrubbed a bunch of them, so we have at least like a somewhat sane flight on our way there, instead of everyone having stress reactions, because they're all going to be crammed in the same room with like basically no morale generators. So, yeah, here's the last of our oxalite. We should be good. Let's take the top off and let's get out of here. Frostbite, what are you doing? Alright, all of our food's inside here, so we have 942,000 calories. I think that'll last us for a handful of days while we fly to the Temporal Tear. Let's deconstruct these. We don't need those anymore. Now all of our oxygen's going to be leaking, so we need to get everybody inside the rockets. Let's change our crew, and we are not picky here. We're taking everybody. There we go. Thought it would be funny to leave someone behind, but we already had one duplicant die, so let's not do that. Alright, I think we're good to leave, and the rest of the food that's still here, I guess it's just not going to get taken, so let's just go ahead and select our destination. Oh, we need a way to actually fly the rocket. How about that? So let's do this. Rocket control station. Someone should build it pretty quick. Again, Harold coming through, although he's just kind of watching right now. Alright. So now, we're just going to change our destination over to here. We need to land on there, clear the landing pad, and then we will bounce to the Gassimu asteroid, and then we will be at the Temporal Tear. But we will fire this as soon as we take off, and I want to do it while it's all still on camera. So I'm going to acknowledge the warnings, begin launch, get everybody inside the rocket. Get off the phone, Steve! Alright, there we go. Probably going to leave some destruction in our wake. Yeah, okay. Now let's fire this thing. Yes, I'm ready for a meteor shower, because I don't care about this anymore. Here's our destructive meteor shower now that the Temporal Tear is opened. Just going to destroy a whole bunch of our solar panels. So there we go. We got out just in time, just like an action shot. And of course the game hitches right in the middle of this. Perfect timing. There we go. Yeah, all kinds of destruction. Alright, how's everybody doing in our rocket? Everybody happy? No? Alright, that's what I expected. Okay, we'll be on our way there. It'll take us a few cycles to land, clear this out, bounce here, and then we'll be at the Temporal Tear. So when we land and clear this out, or I guess we've already shown digging out the area here after landing someone, so I'll just do that off camera. We'll show up right next to the Temporal Tear, and we'll get through there, and then that will be it for this run. There. We rebuilt our rocket while we were traveling to the temporal tear. But people are still very upset. So you got Frey headbutting the wall, 2 people binge eating. Did try to get at least a few people using the Great Hall. And we did need another layer for bathrooms because there were not enough for duplicants to not get radiation sickness by only having 1 toilet. So we have a double-decker toilet. Definitely something that fancy people have in their house. Alright. Well, we're on our way there. We still haven't really gone that far. You can build very fast when you have this many duplicants in one little space, but yeah, we'll be there soon. Okay, take a look, because this is the last you will see of all of these duplicants, because they are about to go through the temporal tear, and we are about to look at the final cutscene for this run through the DLC of the beta of the DLC. So let's go ahead and do it. If you have not seen this before and you do not want to see it because you don't want to be spoiled, then look away and come back in a minute. Colony lost. There go all of our duplicants. I mean, that's what happens when you send them all through the temporal tear, so there you go. We lost our colony, but we won. There we go. Lose and win at the same time. It's like destroyed. Hey, got the bug again where it shows my UI. And a huge hitch during the celebration. It's just going to show all of our gas stations. And the music is like, yeah, this is too long. Come on. You made too many colonies. What are you doing? Alright, we have always viewed the temporal tear as a phenomenon to... By the way, this is a ghost saying this because everybody is not here anymore. A phenomenon to fear, but, like civilizations before us, the call to adventure asks us to confront our anxiety and leap into the unknown. As a radical action of hope, I have sent enough duplicants through the temporal tear to start another colony, aka all of them. Explore dimensions beyond ours and plant the seeds of life throughout time and space. Proceed. Whoa, my mouse sensitivity. There we go. We got all of them, but we didn't get this one because it doesn't exist yet. All the colony directives are done, of course, except for... Oh. Can I not click on this anymore? Oh, I've never seen this before. Can barely see it for like a second. Anyway, they're all checked, and we won. The end. Alright, so there's our herald who is a representative of this colony, or only... Someone's gonna stumble upon this colony and be like, what in the world happened here? But they're gonna know that we're gonna leave our ruins behind. It'll get buried in ice and snow eventually if we sit here for long enough. So there you go. That's our playthrough of the DLC beta. I was going to make a video about my initial impressions and what I wanted to kind of say as a wrap-up for the DLC, but the good thing is that this is only part of it. The actual DLC is going to be coming out tomorrow, as of the time I've posted this, so if you want to watch some stuff from that, I will get a video up immediately afterward. It will come out on the 19th, and I will continue on with a new run in that DLC. I'm not 100% sure what my special rules are going to be for that, because I think just a regular run won't be as interesting as one that we really hamper ourselves with some restrictions. On this one we just played on hard, and we also did not use any advanced tech. So super low tech rockets, we did not use any aqua tuners, no steam turbines or anything like that. And except for some small niche circumstances, we only used resources that were from the frozen asteroid and spaced out. So There you go. I think that'll pretty much do it. Stay tuned. In a couple days, I'll be back with another video that'll be specifically for starting a brand new run in the actual DLC. Thank you very much for watching this abbreviated one, and I'll see you soon.